Hi everybody, you may have seen my previous video on how Bayesian thinking can help you avoid overreacting or underreacting to new evidence. If you haven't, go ahead and click over there. I'll still be here when you get back. But now we're going to take the next step. We're going to take it out of the abstract and on to the pitch. If you followed the Premier League at all last season, you know one of the big stories was the struggles of Manchester City. At one point, they weren't even the top 4 or 5, and things were going badly. Will Pep Guardiola ever win again? Cue the headlines. Is City burned out? Will they make the Champions League? Some people were saying Pep is finished. A lot of people were ready to throw out everything we knew about this great team. But a good prior isn't about loyalty, it's about fundamentals. Sure, City had lost the reigning Ballon d'Or winner. Yes, they had an injury crisis in defense, but they still had Erling Haaland, they still had Kevin De Bruyne, they still had Ruben Diaz and Manuel Akanji, who when healthy are one of Europe's best center-back pairings. Their squad was still worth close to $1 billion, and they still had Pep Guardiola, who watched his marriage fall apart, apparently stopped eating, was living at the Etihad over Christmas, doing everything he could to turn this around. That's a strong prior. Also, for City to actually miss out on the Champions League, you'd need to believe that 4 other teams would finish above them. So Liverpool, sure, after January, that was pretty much a given. Arsenal, almost surely, although they did their best to bottle it and let City take second to the very last minute. But then who? Spurs? United? Unlikely given the seasons they were having. So that leaves you hoping for Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and Villa to all finish ahead of City at the end of May. You'd have to update your prior beliefs pretty aggressively and believe in a lot of unlikely outcomes to make that forecast. Sure enough, City stormed back, finished third, 3 points behind Arsenal, and this is exactly what a good Bayesian model would have told you. You've seen this before, Premier League fans. In 2015 and 2016, most models updated way too slowly on Leicester as they were marching toward the title, and way too slowly as Chelsea was dropping toward the bottom of the table. To be fair, it was incredibly hard. Leicester weren't just a preseason long shot, the famous 5,000 to 1 betting odds. They were widely projected to be at the bottom of the table. Almost nobody had them in their top 10 priors. When they started climbing though, many models still lagged, even halfway through the season. My model had Leicester projected 3rd after 20 games, but most of the modeling world was still expecting them to fall away. And here's the thing, even when some models did update, the updates weren't always welcomed. Sometimes the narrative just wanted to stick with the old story. There's no way Leicester can do this. They are not a Big Six side. That's not what happens in the English Premier League. And that's the danger of hanging on to a prior when the evidence is piling up against it. Jamie Vardy scoring more and more goals, Leicester's winning more and more games. Eventually it seemed inevitable, but models and our minds did not catch up. A good Bayesian model should update carefully, then calibrating when new evidence keeps coming in. A lot of models and a lot of pundits didn't. But the opposite mistake is just as bad, overreacting to a tiny piece of new evidence. The streets will remember Fernando Torres as a classic example of that. At Liverpool, he was one of the best strikers in the world, giving us an incredibly strong prior. He makes that big money move to Chelsea, and he struggled badly. He had long dry spells, missed easy chances. His reputation took a serious hit. But even as we watched him struggle, that original prior didn't just disappear. Fans and pundits and commentators alike still wanted to believe he was that player. So anytime he scored, even in low stakes matches, I just remember people screaming, the headlines, everything would return. Fernando Torres is back, he scored, he's ready. My favorite over-the-top moment came in 2013. You may remember he scored 4 goals against Tahiti in the Confederations Cup, ended up winning the Golden Boot. The headlines are talking about Fernando Torres, he's back, he's the Golden Boot winner at this major international tournament. But a good Bayesian update looks beyond that noise. Sure, he scored, but it was against very weak opposition. All respect to Tahiti, but these are basically, these are not Premier League sides. Let's just all be honest. It was a single outlier data point that we shouldn't update too strongly about. That's not evidence of a return to elite form. That's just headline chasing, clickbaiting, hot take, whatever you want to call it. Eventually, you may remember, he leaves Chelsea and has solid, if unspectacular, seasons on loan at AC Milan, then goes back to Atletico to see if he can revive his career. He can't. He then finished his career in Japan, retires in 2019. Whether it's teams or players, Bayesian thinking helps you stay balanced. Don't be too stubborn, don't be too reactive. Just use that judgment in motion.